Today I'm going to be making target stands, and to make the target stands, each target stand is going to take one 2x4, and you can use pre-cuts for this. They may be slightly cheaper than an 8-foot. And then you're going to need two furring strips, and I ended up getting the 1x2 furring strips, 8-foot long. First thing I did was I cut the furring strips each down to 5 feet. I saved that 5 feet for my upright to staple my targets to. And then I ended up, out of the scrap that was left over, I cut 4 of these 3.5-inch long pieces. So what we're going to do is I first have the 2x4s, 2 of them cut 18.5 inches long and 2 that are 24 inches long. The way you would normally do this is you would put this together this way, and you'd put 2 of these in here and nail that all together, and then you can stick your uprights, the other furring strips, in here, and then you got your target stand. But I also want this to be able to hold an upright 2x4. So what we're going to do is I'm going to use a dado blade. I'm going to make grooves on each side to make a 2x4 fit here in the middle. And then I'm going to take these other 2, and then I'm going to just kind of nail them around that. So first thing we got to do, as you can see, I've got lines already on here. I'm going to take these over to the saw. We're going to go ahead and take about 7/16 to 3/8 of an inch out of each side, and then we'll see how that fits. As you can see, we have use the dado blade to be able to make a groove in each 2x4. If you don't happen to have a dado blade set, you can also just use a single blade and take a cut out about every 1/4 inch or so. It'll take you a few passes, and then take a chisel and just take out all that extra material that's left in between your saw cuts. So next thing you do, we're going to test it, make sure that we cut the groove deep enough. It's going to sandwich this together. I'm going to push it all nice and flat, hold it together, and then a 2x4 ought to be able to fit in this groove. And it does. Now what we're going to do is we're just going to take our little spacers, and we'll put them on these lines that I have here. I have some lines that are 1.5 inches from each end, so I know that leaves me about the width of my furring strip, plus just about 1/8 of an inch for wiggle room. And then I'm going to take these other ones, and we're just going to butt them right up against where our grooves are, so we'll make a nice looking 2x4 hole. Okay. Now what we got to do is I'm going to take a brad nailer. These got 2-inch long brads, so I'm going to have to nail it from each side. Now that we got the spacers brad nailed in between, we're going to go ahead and put our pieces up here. We're going to put some marks on here where the middle of each side is, and then we'll nail this together using an air nailer, or you can use screws or regular hammer and nails. Well, now that the target stands together, you take your 2 5-foot pieces that you cut off at the beginning of your furring strips, stick them down in the slots, and then go ahead and staple cardboard target or whatever kind of target you want to at the top. Well, here's the finished target holders. One I have set up with the 2x4 upright so you can hang metal targets from it, and then the other one I have the furring strip uprights in there so you can staple cardboard targets to that. Overall, these target holders are pretty cheap to make, and I think they were roughly about $4 a piece for each one. So I think they'll work just fine for me. Thanks for watching.